The best game so far, man, right there. See that? Red Dead Redemption 1 and 2, 9.75. It's that good. I don't even want to rate Red Dead 1 as a separate experience because it is a continued, fleshed out story that is one-to-one a copy. Like, I just can't rate that any lower. I don't know. Red Dead is, like, that good of a game. For the overall feeling of that game, what you get from, like, experiencing Red Dead, it's incredible. There was a DLC for Dredge that I never played, but we watched a YouTube video on it. And it actually was a very cool DLC, but like Dredge kind of dragged on way too long. Because not all DLC is going to be good. But you know, you can still be along for the journey, right? The experience. But some games do last a little bit too long. You know, when you play games, you want them to... It's like, go out and do this again for me. Go out and do this again for me. Go out and do this again for me. And you could say, well, doesn't that just sound like Death Stranding? Not really. You know, for the sake of doing things in gaming, when you go out and redo them, you want to see and experience different things. You know, it will become tedious and not as fun if they make you keep doing the same thing, but you don't get anywhere doing it. You don't see new lands, you don't see new creatures. You know, games do need a bit of a flow. Right? You need to move on. Resident Evil 6. It's 5 hours of acceptable, like, bliss, and then it's 15 hours of CBT. You didn't see the vision. There just wasn't a vision in that game. I mean, you know what? You know what the vision was that I can really respect? Like, there are upsides and downsides to every game, of course. The number one thing I respect about Resident Evil 6 is if you had played the game when it first came out, and you played it on Christmas with your bro, you know, for the time of that game's release, it was perfect. You know, you sit down on a couch and you have 20 hours of gameplay, and you've got 4 separate stories that interlock. Like, it is so long. It is probably it's the longest game. It's the longest game. You know, it is crazy to think that we went from Resident Evil 6 to 7, because it really is the worst game in the franchise to one of the best. They reinvented Resident Evil, and it was fucking worth it. That's all I can say. It was absolutely one of the best. I mean, by the end of Red Dead, you'll care about Arthur Morgan. And he isn't even like... He's not like Kratos... He's not the Doom guy, he's not like Master Chief, he's not like any sort of crazy person who can fucking do all these, like, fantastic things, go off and murder gods, or, you know, deal with giant alien invasions. You know, he's nobody special, but he's a dude trying to do what's best. You know, I heard when people played Red Dead that they swapped out their horses 20 times in a row. I could never do that. That's demonic. I could never just replace something that's been with me since, like, minute 1. That is some good damage. You know, they walked into my queue, but, like, that's still good damage. You know, I'll say this, though. I did upgrade my phone. I have only had 2 phones in my lifetime. I had a Samsung dinky, winky, like, little dirto cheap phone. And the only other phone I've upgraded to was, like, an Apple phone. And I love my Apple phone. I'm not on it, like, 24/7, but it is incredible what it can do. My new phone gets delivered today, funnily enough. So stoked. Well, let me ask you this then. What was wrong with your last phone? Did you want to replace it for the sake of replacing it? Switched back from Android to iPhone, and Verizon was offering a deal because I upgraded my plan to unlimited data. Gotcha. Consume! Hey, everyone's different, man. I respect it. We all hunger for different things. Just like I hunger for nuts, which I don't have anymore. They're all gone. I need my nuts. Onion fungus. I've got some of that between my toes, sir. Welcome. I do cultivate it daily. I squeeze it onto my chicken that I get from Costco. It's delicious. I think he's gonna die to poison, no? Ah, you... I got you. We need 6 grubs, 4 drakes, a baron, and a plan. That is the plan. What is Mundo? That was a good Graves game. That's a good build. Whatever build we're doing right now is actually the play for Graves. We have a family cottage, like a wooden shack in the middle of the woods. We have a bird feeder. There's a lot of wildlife, obviously. When you go up there, you see the birds, you see the deers, you see the whatever, the turkeys that fly around in the woods. I'm trying to find a good picture of this so I don't seem so insane. These things. Okay, this one's okay. We used to bring these up to the cottage, and we would feed the birds these nut blocks. You ever feed birds those things? I wanted to eat them. They look so good. Some of them were like, basically, it was peanut butter and full of nuts. You don't think so? The nut blocks, dude, they looked so good to eat. They did. It looks tasty. It does, doesn't it? It kind of looks like a fucking granola, like a big granola bar or something. No, amazing. Well, I'm not sure, all of them, some of them are made with like mealworms and other, you know, things, but like, I think the ones we had were like peanut related. No, they were great. It's like it's like a protein brick or, yeah, instead of it being peanut butter, I'm sure it's like ground up mealworms and stuff like that, but it reminds me of like a fudge. It looks like a nutty fudge. There are berries that are toxic to humans but not birds. I guess it's more so what we feed them. Like, yeah, you could go out in the wild and think like, oh, they're eating it, so I can eat it, but like, Mother Nature's a bit different. My grandpa used to eat onions like they were apples. I want to try that. I've had a craving to just bite into onions and chew them like apples. B-ring, let's go. Stop telling me these facts. I don't want to know this. This is so strange. Please no more. I don't want to know those things. It's fine, guys. Trindamere mid. Being shill. I think D-Shield might have been better. Trindamere with D-Shield's kind of ghoulish, eh? Ouch! That damage, baby. Woo. Cool. That'll give me boots. Nice. Lumphao. G2 Bjergsen. Little does this guy know, you trained the real Bjergsen. True. In the days gone, when League was young, and the world was healing. Eons ago, when things were pure, it was a different time than it was. Wow. That's a little bit cheesy. It's a bit cheesy. Super cheese! Cool. Cool. Okay. Got him! Luck of the draw! All or nothing. I think he might have been typing. Did he flash? I think he was typing. I don't know. I think he was. He was probably like spamming for Nocturne to come mid or something. Yeah. That's what they do. Let's do mana so we can spam Q. Oh, did he go AFK? No way. Do you think he raged so much that he went AFK? He's not here. I wonder if he actually went AFK. Oh, my W missed. I think he rage quit. You know what? I'm curious. What did I'm just curious. I'm curious. How do I enable all chat? Oh, no, he's back. Okay. This is such a ghoulish lane. Tryndamere and Nocturne. How bad does that sound to deal with, eh? That's not fun. Oh, okay. Rip! He forgot to press one button. Okay, then. Yeah, back to being AFK, I think. Oops. Oh, they're on Dragoon. They're gonna goon for the Dragoon. Auto the plant. What? You're welcome. Cool. I found you today. You seem to be a new streamer. Congrats on joining the best stream platform of today. Welcome, welcome, everyone. I am a new streamer. You're not wrong. I started yesterday. Definitely not a bot. I don't think he's a bot. I don't think... maybe English isn't his first language. That's fine. That is not a bot. He sent 90... Wait, he's lying. No, this guy's been here since, like, 20... He's been here since 2020. He said, time to throw poggers. I think he was being ironic, folks. Why aren't we belittling each other? We're the death threats. We're the fucking ancient voodoo black magic hexes that we used to give each other. We're the good old days of League. When a man could get on and get 50 death threats a second, quit his day job, lose his life savings, take to gambling, and whoring himself out on the streets. What happened to the glory days of League? What a world we live in. The flavor of gameplay. You know, I can keep rambling. Runes and masteries, you've heard it 3,000 times, but it's true. What? Canadian house sauce is basically Italian dressing. It's something like that. It's very good, though. It's better than, like, just oil. Since when are you this high, Katie, on grace? On graces? With the grace of the gods I go forth with my graves, I get positive KDAs. I mean, I'm dead. Hey, kill... You got me, dude. I think you got me. Wait, didn't get me? Wait. What? What the hell? Okay, never mind. Well, 40k is meant to be insanely over the top. Fantasy still is over the top, but it's more grounded, right? It's, you know, swords and shields and magic. Classic fantasy stuff. But still pretty insane. 40k is just like, what if we took the Death Star and made the Death Star a million times stronger? And that's kind of like everything in the universe. 40 was the cap back in the day. Yeah, but that was the standard. I feel like you'd always play 40% CDR. Music is so relaxing these days, I miss getting my ears blown out by loud music when I join the stream. You know, this is storied music. We used to listen to epic music, badass music. Now this is storied music. This makes you feel something. It's passionate. It's oozing substance. This shit should one-shot people. Oops. Cool. You know, another decent Graves game. Look at that. Not bad. This is Unc Tobias slowing down in his old age and learning to smell the flowers. Oh, the flowers. You mean the mushrooms?